What if Rome had never become an empire? Not because of slow decline, not because of betrayal from within, but because of one man, one enemy. A military genius so dangerous, so relentless, that he brought the Republic to its knees and nearly erased it from history. His name? Hannibal Barca. To the Romans, he wasn't just a general. He was a shadow that crept across the Alps, a nightmare that haunted their children, a strategist so ruthless that even after losing half his army, he still went on to deliver the deadliest defeat Rome had ever seen. And yet, he lost. So who was this man that terrified the mightiest empire of the ancient world? How did he almost win it all? And what stopped him? This is the story of Rome's greatest enemy, and how history came this close to being written in Punic, not Latin. The rivalry begins. Before Hannibal ever marched on Rome, the war had already begun. Quietly. Rome and Carthage were two rising giants. Rome ruled by land, disciplined and aggressive. Carthage dominated the seas, rich from trade and defended by mercenaries. Their collision came in Sicily. A local dispute spiraled into the First Punic War, 23 years of brutal conflict. Outmatched at sea, Rome built a navy from scratch and created the corvus, a brutal boarding plank that turned ship battles into infantry fights. Carthage was stunned and defeated. The loss hit hard. But for one man, it was personal. General Hannibal Barca. He returned home furious. With him was his young son, Hannibal. Legend says Hamilcar took Hannibal to an altar and made him swear a blood oath. Never forgive Rome. Hate them until your last breath. Hannibal was 9. That promise would shape history. War reignites, and Hannibal makes his move. Years passed. Carthage, humiliated but not broken, turned to a new frontier, Spain. There, General Hamilcar carved out a new empire, until he was killed in battle. His son, now a man, took command. Hannibal, brilliant, fearless, and trained from childhood to hate Rome, Hannibal wasted no time. In 219 BCE, he attacked Saguntum, a city allied with Rome. Rome declared war. But instead of waiting for the Roman legions, Hannibal did something no one expected. He marched straight for Italy, through the Alps. It was madness, steep cliffs, freezing winds, hostile tribes. And yes, he brought elephants. His army, over 90,000 strong, was nearly wiped out by the time they reached Italy. But Hannibal had pulled off the impossible. He was in Roman territory, with a vengeance. Hannibal's genius unleashed. Rome was stunned. Hannibal hadn't just survived the Alps, he brought the war straight to their doorstep. And he came out swinging. At the Trebia River, he ambushed Roman troops in icy waters. At Lake Trasimene, he trapped 25,000 men in a fog-covered valley. Few made it out alive. But his true masterpiece came at Cannae. Outnumbered, Hannibal baited the Romans into charging his center, then closed in from the sides. His cavalry circled behind. The result? Total encirclement. In one day, over 50,000 Roman soldiers were slaughtered. Cannae wasn't just a victory. It was a massacre, and proof that Rome could bleed. A fatal mistake. After Cannae, Rome was broken. Their armies were gone. Their cities trembled. Hannibal had a clear path to the capital, but he didn't take it. Historians still argue why. Some say he lacked siege equipment. Others blame Carthage's Senate for refusing to send reinforcements. Maybe Hannibal was waiting for more allies to rise. Whatever the reason, the moment passed, and Rome used it. Instead of chasing Hannibal into open battle, they changed tactics. Under a new leader, Fabius Maximus, they fought a war of attrition. They shadowed Hannibal's army, cut off his supplies, and avoided direct confrontation. Hannibal, once unstoppable, found himself stranded deep in enemy territory. No backup, no clear path forward. And for the first time, Rome began to adapt. The rise of Scipio. Rome strikes back. As Hannibal stalled in Italy, a new Roman commander was rising. Publius Cornelius Scipio. Young, ambitious, and battle-hardened, Scipio had survived Cannae. But instead of fearing Hannibal, he studied him. He proposed a bold plan: strike Carthage directly. First, he conquered Spain, Hannibal's base of power, using fast, unpredictable tactics inspired by the man himself. Then, he sailed for North Africa. There, he captured key cities, shattered local armies, and forced Carthage's hand. They had only one choice: call Hannibal home. After nearly 2 decades of war, the 2 greatest minds of their time were about to face off. The place? Zama. The final battle was coming, and this time, Hannibal wouldn't be the one holding the advantage. Hannibal's final defeat, Zama, 202 BCE. Hannibal returned to defend his homeland, but the war had changed. His army was smaller, less seasoned. Scipio's was faster, better trained, and full of confidence. Hannibal opened with a charge, 80 war elephants. But Scipio had planned for it. His soldiers simply stepped aside, creating corridors that let the elephants pass harmlessly through. Then came the infantry. Hannibal's front lines collapsed. His veterans held firm, but they were outnumbered and surrounded. At the worst moment, Scipio's cavalry, long gone from the battlefield, returned. They struck from behind. The encirclement was complete. Hannibal's signature tactic used against him. He was defeated. The war was over. Legacy of a ghost. After Zama, Carthage was done. Its navy gone, its power broken. Hannibal fled into exile. He became a military advisor, always looking for a chance to strike back. But Rome never forgot him, and never stopped hunting him. Cornered years later, he took poison rather than be captured. The Senate reportedly breathed a sigh of relief, but his shadow lingered. Hannibal didn't just fight Rome, he forced it to evolve. His tactics are still studied today. His name still sparks awe. And though he lost the war, he remains the greatest enemy Rome ever faced.